I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilwoman Barnum.
Present.
Councilwoman Hush-LaRae.
Present.
Councilman Perticone.
Here.
Councilman Seeley. Supervisor Bello.
Here.
And attorney for the town.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Barbara. I'm going to ask that the town board meet me down there by the podium for the presentation of the Good Neighbor Award. All right. Good evening. As you know, the Good Neighbor Award is presented each month to a resident who goes above and beyond to make Irondequoit an exceptional place to call home. And the recipient of the October Good Neighbor Award exemplifies what it means to be a good neighbor. Our October Good Neighbors go out of their way to help anyone they can, whether it be by doing yard work, raking, buying and spreading mulch, shoveling, all without being asked or expecting a thanks in return. If any of their neighbors needs a friend, they'll be there with food and hugs, or even just to take care of the pets. Dorothea and Orest Torres, your friends and neighbors have nominated you as good neighbors. The residents of Cornwall Lane are better off because of you, because you are their neighbor, and the town of Irondequoit is better off because you are part of our community. So thank you for taking such good care of them in our community, and in doing these good deeds, you are the quintessential good neighbors, and we're grateful to have you. So if you can come on up here for a moment. We want to present you with this token of our appreciation, and I do hereby, on behalf of the town board and the town of Irondequoit, declare you to be our good neighbors. Congratulations. Thank you. And do we have some friends and family and neighbors from the neighborhood? Come on up. We're going to take a picture. Come on over. All right. Yeah. That's funny. Here, come on over. We're going to take a picture together.
We can all just kind of come to the center, please.
Can we see everybody?
Yeah, we can get the couple to kind of come on the end here, just so you're not the people behind you, sorry.
There you go. If you can't see the camera, I can't see you. All right.
Ready? Do a couple of them.
Got some feedback going on. Oh, I might. That's what it would be. Okay. It's my fault. So for the next presentation, I'd like to call forward for a special recognition our Chief of Police, Chief Tantillo. And Captain Ryan. Sorry.
Sure. Thanks.
Tonight, we'd like to take this opportunity to recognize the Laurelton Fire Department, and if I could have Chief Schoen, Commissioner Farrell, Commissioner Smith, Commissioner Grote, Commissioner Zawaga, and Captain Nelavico, please come forward. I'd appreciate that. I've been practicing that all day. On September 19th, 2015, the Arundecoit Police Department responded to a critical incident that required the establishment of a command post. As the location of the incident was in close proximity to the Laurelton Fire Department on Empire Boulevard, the Arundecoit Police Department requested the use of that facility. The Laurelton Fire Department quickly agreed to assist with our investigation and the police officers assigned to the detail, many of which are in attendance here tonight, and we appreciate that. As the incident action plan was developed and implemented, the firehouse served as a command post as Captain Ryan and his staff put an incident action plan into place. We utilized their communication center, staging area, relief area, and also conducted preliminary investigative interviews and a debriefing at that site. The utilization of this space allowed for the development of police operations, investigative interviews, and also provided an adjacent media staging area. The Laurelton Fire Department personnel assisted us with every task that was asked of them and did so with the highest degree of professionalism. In my opinion, a community is defined by its resources, and we are fortunate to collectively have a group of dedicated first responders from every corner of Arundecoit. During this incident, and while assisting with other major investigations that have occurred over the past several years, the Laurelton Fire Department has always been an exceptional public safety partner with the Arundecoit Police Department and the town of Arundecoit. We are grateful for the assistance that they have provided to the Arundecoit Police Department and to this entire community. On behalf of the men and women of the Arundecoit Police Department and the entire Arundecoit Town Board, it is our privilege to present this presentation, a plaque of appreciation for their efforts for the members of the department here, as well as the entire Laurelton Fire Department, representing their dedication to this community and the exceptional partnership that exists between the fire department and the police department. Thank you very much.
I'm a man of few words, but just we're very humbled by this. For the whole department, the commissioners, my officers, the career staff, and all the volunteers. We're residents, we're neighbors, we're friends, we're family of the district, and we're here because we want to be here. And just on behalf of all of them, I have the honor to say thank you. So thank you very, very much. Thank you, Chief.
One more. Okay, the next presentation we'd like to give, the town board wanted to take a few moments to recognize a group of individuals who have made an extraordinary impact in our community. And part of that impact you could see every day when you come here to Town Hall. It's this big, beautiful, new consolidated library. It's a beautiful facility sitting right next to us. So for this next presentation, I would like to call forward Terry Dalton and all the members of the Friends of the Arundecoit Library. Come on up. Oh, we got a sign. Fantastic. And we have a proclamation we read that we'd like to read and present to you as a token of our appreciation. It says, whereas a great community is only as great as those organizations that perform exemplary service on behalf of their neighbors through successful outreach and raising awareness, impacting the fabric of our great community. And whereas the Friends of the Irondequoit Public Library is one such charitable organization, deserving of our recognition and praise, especially in light of our newly constructed, centralized, and modernized public library. And whereas reading unlocks a child's imagination, takes them on a journey no television program or video game could replicate, and builds motivation and curiosity that lasts for a lifetime. And whereas the Friends appreciate the importance of upgrading and centralizing our new library, and worked feverishly to inform residents, advocate for resources, and help the town to reach our goals. And whereas United for Libraries and Friends groups across the entire nation are declaring October 18th through the 24th to be Friends of Libraries Week, a time when we come together to celebrate the dedication exhibited by these volunteers and champions of our community. So now, therefore, let it be resolved that we, Supervisor Adam Bello, and the Town Board, on behalf of the entire town of Irondequoit, do hereby proclaim October 18th through the 24th, 2015, Friends of Libraries Week in Irondequoit, and do offer our support and gratitude for all that they do to enhance our library. So thank you very much.
We would just like to say thank you for this proclamation, and we will be actually in the library all next week. It's our membership drive as well. But we also want to say thank you to you and to the town for your continued support. We appreciate everything that you have done for us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we're going to take a picture. That's what we do. Come on.
That's what we do. Newspaper today? No. That's from yesterday, right? It's got someone on the front cover like, oh,
We gotta go back down.
Thank you. All right.
for the campaign.
All right, thank you. All right, have a good one. Okay, the last presentation that I want to give is a presentation on the 2016 tentative budget that was filed today. It's my second budget as the town supervisor. We had I had a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation to show all of you, but it malfunctioned today. But I'm still going to go through a talk and still let you know what is in the budget that was submitted today. And we will, of course, give the presentation again as we go through the public hearing process, and again at the November town board meeting where we're on track to adopt next year's budget. The 2016 tentative budget for the town of Irondequoit is balanced and maintains Irondequoit's healthy financial outlook by holding the property tax rate flat and continuing spending priorities that are putting us on the path to success. The 2016 budget builds on the investments, reorganization of town departments, and priorities that we enacted in last year's budget for 2015. Fiscal responsibility and holding the line on property taxes are the hallmarks of the 2016 budget. The tentative budget contains a 0% town property tax increase, maintaining the current rate of $6.51 per $1,000 of assessed value. This was accomplished despite $440,000 in anticipated debt service payments for the consolidated library, and we've maintained investments in our town services. Now, a budget document is a statement of our community's priorities, and the 2016 budget continues to provide healthy investments healthy investments in four main sectors. The first being public safety, where we're going to continue to fund our police department with the increase in the police force that we had in the 2015 budget. That will continue into the 2016 budget, as well as funding for increase in equipment, including new police cars to help our police officers better be able to perform their jobs and protect this community. Public Works is another area of the budget where we're adding equipment and funding to maintain and repair our infrastructure. Our Economic Development Department, which, as you know, went through a reorganization and a transition from last year to this year. We continue to fund the organization, and that organization led to over $20 million in new commercial investments in the town of Arundecoit in the past year and a half. So I think it's a good bang for our buck. And we're also investing in our quality of life programs, such as the library, our parks and recreation programs that have had record expansions over the last year and a half. And we're going to continue to have our festivals and all the programs we've mentioned, including the Winterfest. The ice skating rink will be back if the weather allows, and so we all have mixed emotions about that. And we also expanded our playground camps to include that new camp down at Hellendale Road School. So we have 4 camps now that, of course, are free to the public to use. So it continues to do that. Our budgets are essentially a third, are basically designed into thirds. A third of our budget goes to public safety, a third of our budget into transportation, and a third of our budget into culture, recreation, and home and community programs. Another key point I'd like to point out is the history of a taxable assessed value in the budget. The town of Arundecoit has had a unfortunate history of a declining tax base for a number of years. What this budget shows is that in 2014, we had a pretty significant turnaround. In 2016, we're now projected to have, for the third year in a row, an increase in the assessed value of the town. This is an increase in our tax base for the third year in a row. This is significant. Many communities in our region are facing a decline. The town of Arundecoit was facing a decline. We are now facing the third year in a row, and that's a very good sign for the future of our town. I mentioned the budget holds the property tax rate flat at $6.51. It's been that way since 2010. 2016 will be the 7th year in a row we've held the line on property taxes and not asked for more from our residents. Through the conservative budgeting principles, including strict spending controls, the town board is anticipating to end the 2015 budget year with a general fund surplus of nearly $600,000. This was all accomplished despite increased costs associated with collective bargaining agreements with the hardworking men and women at Town Hall, in the face of increased health care costs and debt service payments for the new library. But due to the town's healthy fund balance, which exceeded the fund balance policy set by the town board, most of this surplus that we've accumulated this year will be reinvested to provide tax relief to Arundecoit residents next year. So I am more convinced today than I've ever been that Arundecoit's best days are ahead, and this tentative budget will continue to move our community in the right direction by taking advantage of our efficiencies, our reorganization, and our conservative budgeting principles that are allowing us to keep a 0% property tax increase while maintaining our key investments in public safety, public works, economic development, and our quality of life programs. So, thank you. Okay, now, you ready? Okay, so for the next agenda item is public input. I have 2 people signed up. The first is Ebeth Merkel. Did you want to speak? No problem. Okay. And the next person signed up to address the board is Greg Devlin. Good
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity. Since I get the other person's time, right?
Yeah, sure. I've never cut anybody off before, Greg.
I'm not going to do that. But
Okay.
I just want to talk about the budget a little bit. I think that keeping the tax rate flat is good. Doing that is something a whole lot better than what we had in the last half of the previous decade, where things went up and our fund balance went like this. And you're actually, I can tell you're doing a lot of very good things. And you just said a few things which took some wind out of my sails when you said you're actually going to reduce taxes next year. Did I hear you right?
No, I said I was going to hold the tax rate flat
I
next
meant
year.
the next budget after this one.
I did not say that.
I thought you said that. But that's part of my point, is that, we are in competition with other towns. And we really need to do, not just hold the tax rate flat, and we need to actually reduce taxes and reduce spending. And you also mentioned that the assessed value of the town is going up, which means, doesn't that mean that the tax levy actually goes up? Which means people actually pay more taxes because the value of their home has gone up, I think, which means that they actually end up paying more taxes. So I do believe we need to go in the other direction. And, there was an article in the paper about the budgets in D&C, and one of the things I'd like to highlight is that in Gates, Supervisor Marcassini said his 2016 budget will have the town's lowest tax rate in more than a decade. And he said the budget calls for no increase in the levy at all. And if they can do it, I think we can do it. And I think being bigger, there should be more opportunity to do that. And I just wanted to go ahead and say that. I just hope there are no surprises that are going to come towards you as you get to the final budget that are going to cause increases. The other thing I wanted to mention was that as I do every day for this meeting, I look for the agenda, and but this morning, the packet of supporting information wasn't there. And one of the things that caught my eye was that there's a zoning request for 35 Kane Drive. I don't know what that all means, but I do know that I don't think we want to go down the road we went with R7 over here on Titus Avenue. That's a bad move. But I don't know anything else about it, but I just wanted to mention that. And I don't know why the package wasn't there, but maybe it's just my computer. Thank you.
Thank you. Was there anybody else who'd like to address the board that did not have a chance or an opportunity to sign up in advance? Okay, seeing none, can move on to the financial report.
The financial results for the town as of September 30th. Total expenditures and encumbrances are $22,317,000, which equate to 68.5% of budget, less than the 75% of the year that has elapsed. Total actual expenditures are 64.1% of budget, or $20,901,000, accounting for the additional 4.3% are encumbrances of $1,416,000. We maintain that the town's ongoing operations require us to continuously address our need for the appropriate level and sources of commodities, services, and supplies. As a result, encumbering of expenses is part of our planning and accounting process. The amount of encumbrances reported here are typical and within reason. The general fund expenses remain favorable at 66.3% of budget. Again, that's below the 75% of the year that has elapsed. The breakdown is actual expenditures $12,136,000 and encumbrances $623,000. Jointly, the $4,497,000 of expenses in the highway funds are higher than the percent of the year that has elapsed at 81.7%. The higher than budgeted costs are primarily caused by encumbrances for fuel, gas, and asphalt in Highway 1, and debt service and equipment parts in Highway 3. Expenses of the other major funds are less than 75%. The library fund expenses are 71.9% of budget, $1,421,000. Sewer fund equates to 58.4% of budget, for a total of $2,311,000, and drainage is $273,000, or 33.5% of budget. As of September 30th, the general fund revenue stands at $15 million, or 79.3% of budget, and that's higher than the percent of the year that has elapsed. This amount includes all tax revenue of $10.6 million and 100% of pilot payments, payment in lieu of tax, of $179,000. Sales tax is $1,181,000 is the amount received, or 32.1% of budget, and that represents 5 months of activity. The total state aid of $613,000 is in at 100%, and 50% of cable franchise fees have been received in the amount of $374,000. The $162,000 of mortgage tax is tracking to the budget at 24.9%. That revenue is for the first 3 months of the year. The recreation program fees of $258,000 represent 81.8% of budget. The other sources of revenue grouping is higher than budget, and included in that grouping are line items such as property maintenance, safety inspection fees, and interest and penalties on tax collections. And we expect to see favorability continue in that group, and that's primarily due to the continued property maintenance effort. Regarding the entire town, 84.8% of revenue, or $27.1 million, has been received to date. Included is 100% of the town's real estate tax, $16.5 million. The library has received 96.5% of its budgeted revenue, for a total of $1,908,000. $5 million is in for the highway, and that reflects 91% of that budget. Sewer has received 100.3% of revenue, $3,954,000. This report represents 3/4 of activity. Therefore, we have a page 3, which is the third quarter summary and comparison to the prior 6 years. Regarding expenditures, which are detailed by fund and included on the top third of the page, the percent of budget spent and encumbered for the town ranges from 67 to 70%. This year, the town is mid-range at 68.5%. The middle third of the page contains the pertinent sources of revenue for the general fund. The bottom third of the page displays the revenue trend of the other funds, and the last line shows the total revenue for the town, total revenue trend for the town. As shown in the middle section of the page, the revenues for the general fund, including the prior 6 years, reveal a trend from 75% to 86%. The general fund for 2015, the general fund revenue for 2015 is low to mid-range at 79.3%. And what's causing this lower percentage is less sales taxes and lower cemetery revenue this year. Regarding the total revenue for all funds, 2015 at 84.9% of budget is in line with the previous years. This concludes my financial report for the month of September 2015.
Great. Thanks, Annie. Does anybody have any questions for the comptroller? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve the financial report?
Moved.
In a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Approval of minutes, September 10th, 2015, the workshop meeting.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
In a second.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's approved.
September 17th, 2015, the regular town board meeting.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
In a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
And it is now 7:35, and we can begin the public hearing. Public hearing PH 10A 2015-1 on the matter of granting a special use permit to operate a restaurant at 999 East Ridge Road, Depot Plaza, in an M manufacturing district.
Can I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I'm going to ask for the public hearing, if I could call on our Planning and Zoning Administrator, Carrie Ivers, or Director McCann to let us know what the public hearing's about.
This is for a special use permit for the proposed Panera Bread at Depot Plaza. And there's a project representative here who can be speaking to the specifics of the project in just a moment. This is located at the legal address of 999 East Ridge Road. And it's proposing a give or take 4,300 square foot Panera restaurant at this location. And this would now complete that plaza's redevelopment.
Great. Thank you, Carrie. So we have a representative from the applicant here who can is looking to address the board.
Good evening.
Good
Mike
evening.
Montalto with Cossage Engineering. Offices at 217 Lake Avenue. I believe we started the process approximately 3 years ago now with the redevelopment of the Depot Plaza and the transformation into Tops. Approximately a year ago or so, the development of an out parcel for Sonic. And as business trends have evolved in the continued viability of the plaza, we're looking to redevelop the portion of the plaza that's approximately 9/10 of an acre, which is the former or current M&T bank facility. As the changes in society have occurred and whatever, less people are using the brick and mortar bank, more and more has gone online. Panera Bread has expressed an interest to the plaza owners of developing that location as their facility. So we're looking to redevelop approximately 9/10 of an acre between the Sonic restaurant and the Tops Fuel canopy area for a 4,300 square foot Panera Bread, seating for roughly 102 patrons, exterior seating as well. 7-day, a week operation, Monday through Wednesday, 6 to 10, Thursdays and Saturdays, 6 a.m. to 11, and Sunday, 7 to 10 p.m. We feel it's in keeping with the overall development theme of the plaza, and in fact, the plaza owner's desire to bring, high-scale tenants to that plaza, and it kind of completes their redevelopment of that whole plaza at this point. So we are scheduled to be before the planning board, I believe on the 26th, to start the formal site plan approval processes of things.
Thank you. Before I ask if there's any other speakers, does anybody have any questions for the applicant? No? Okay. Thank you. Was there anybody else who'd like to address the board for the public hearing? Seeing none, I'd ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
Moved.
In a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks. Thank you.
Adopt a resolution in connection with the State Environmental Quality Review Act regarding an application for a special use permit for 999 East Ridge Road in an M manufacturing district.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
In a second?
Second.
Thank you. I'm going to ask Carrie Ivers, Planning and Zoning Administrator, to walk us through the seeker documents.
The granting of the special use permit for the restaurant facilities and manufacturing districts an unlisted action. The action involves the construction of a small restaurant with drive-through facilities within an existing paved parking area of a developed commercial plaza, which contains no natural resources or habitat areas. The site is located along one of the town's primary commercial corridors on East Ridge Road, and the use is compatible with the character of the surrounding area. Based on information provided as part of the special use permit, it's been determined that there will be no significant negative impact associated with traffic, historic and archaeological resources have been reviewed here, and that is not an issue because it's been previously disturbed for many years. And other hazards or environmental conditions have been reviewed, and we're suggesting that there should be a negative declaration.
Great, thank you, Carrie. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Carrie? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Adopt a resolution in the matter of granting a special use permit at 999 East Ridge Road.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
Thanks. I just want to take an opportunity here, now that we're actually voting to pass to grant the special use permit, to say how delighted I am that we're acting on this tonight. I can't tell you how many residents have said to me, you know, Supervisor, why can't we have a Panera in the town of Irondequoit? And how great it would be to have a Panera Bread here. And so this is just a fantastic step in that direction. So I'm incredibly proud to the work that the plaza owner has done up there on Ridge Road at Depot Plaza, and what Kosich has done up there as well. You know, I said earlier to my budget presentation, one of the primary drivers of the increased value in our town is the $20 million in new construction that we've had in our commercial properties over the last year and a half. And a lot of that, I think, credit too can go to Depot Plaza and some of the new things there, the new tops there, the Sonic that came in last year, and now it looks like Panera Bread has expressed an interest in Irondequoit. So I think it's a great sign for the future of the town. New businesses are still looking to come in and fill up space on Ridge Road. So I just think this is fantastic. I want to thank my department, our building department and community development department for working with the applicant to get us here today. And I want to thank Kosich Engineering as well for your work, Angelo and Grassi and everybody over at Depot Plaza. So thanks for all of your work. Any other comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Items for board action. Item 10A 2015-2, accepting and referring an application for rezoning of 35 Kane Drive.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. I'm just going to call on Director McCann from the Building Department.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The application for your consideration tonight was received by your office, shared with the Department of Development Services, and was deemed to be complete. The application is to rezone 35 Kane Drive. It's a little bit under 3/10 of an acre that's currently zoned R1. The applicant is seeking the M manufacturing zoning. All of the property surrounding this parcel has that manufacturing designation. That was rezoned back in 2006. The previous owner didn't didn't want to have their property rezoned. Now the current owner does, and it would make it consistent with everything in the vicinity of that particular property.
Okay, great. Thank you. The application is before the board. I agree that the application is complete, and I've reviewed it. Does anybody else have any questions or comments before we vote to accept it?
We're accepting it and referring it?
Correct. So we're going to accept the application, and then what will happen next is that the planning board will review the application and make a recommendation to the town board. The next resolution is also going to call for a public hearing again before the town board to invite the public in to comment on the rezone. The other thing I would point out to the council and to the public at home as well is last year we had a number of discussions about how the town will proceed with rezoning applications, and particularly as it comes to informing neighbors in the neighborhood of the pending application and the residents. Right now the town code requires a notification of properties within a 500-foot radius of the proposed rezoning. We are on this project as we did the last time we did a rezoning, which was the library on East Ridge Road. We're going to mail and require that residents within a 1,000-foot radius are notified. They're going to be notified at least 10 days before the planning board takes this matter up, and also before the town board's public hearing. So what the residents who live in the vicinity will have an opportunity of direct mailing as well as an opportunity. Are there any phones by the, there we go. By the got feedback here. So any resident who lives in the close proximity, and this is also especially important to this one, expanding it to 1,000 feet, because within 500 feet of this property, as Director McCann pointed out, it's surrounded by manufacturing districts. You're really not going to hit any residents within 500 feet, I don't think so. This is going to expand to a 1,000-foot radius. So the next step, like I said, will be to the planning board, and then again for a public hearing before the town board. Okay?
Thank
Good. You're welcome. Any other questions? Well, sure. Sure. Kane Drive is off of Ridge Road. It actually runs adjacent to 590 near where the bus facility is for the East Ronaquay School District. Okay. All right. Seeing no other questions, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Item 10A, 2015-3, calling for a public hearing on the matter for rezoning of 35 Kane Drive.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Again, now this is that next step, so we're going to now schedule the public hearing before the town board. The public hearing for this matter will be at the November town board meeting, November 19th at 7:35. So the regular town board meeting in November, the 19th at 7:35. And like I said, a mailing will go out to all residents or properties within 1,000 feet to notify them. Any questions from the board? Or anything else from the building department? No? Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 10A, 2015-4, authorizing the supervisor to enter into an intermunicipal agreement with Ridge Culver Fire Department.
Can I have a motion?
Move.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. This resolution, I'll address this one. This is a resolution that allows us to enter into an agreement with the fire department. The fire department graciously has offered to donate their staff and equipment to the town hall grounds during the July 4th festival, the farmers market, National Night Out, bike ride for missing and exploited children, as well as many, many other events that you see here at the town hall campus. And so in exchange for them offering and donating those services and their presence here at our festivals and activities here, they are in turn going to be able to use 12 hours of field use at McAvoy Park. So it's a good example of governments working together to reduce costs and also share services, personnel, and equipment. So I think this is a good sign of us working together. So. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 10A, 2015-5, authorizing the exchange of equipment for services with the Seabreeze Fire District.
I'm going to ask that, for this resolution, I'm going to ask that the board not make a motion on this one or second it. Without objection, I'd like to take this resolution up, let the department negotiate and talk about it a little bit further, and take this resolution up at the November meeting. So, everybody's okay with that? Great. Thanks.
Item 10A, 2015-6, authorizing the 2016 special events calendar.
Have a motion?
Moved.
And a second?
Second. Second.
Thank you. You're going to see the list of special events. It is we're continuing, like I said, the town budget presentation earlier funds a lot of our town events. They're going to continue to happen next year in 2016. This resolution allows us to start the planning process. Some of these events start planning as soon as now, including the 4th of July and everything else. So, but the first event that I really do want to point out, it was new earlier this year. We're doing it again next year. It's the Winter Festival. Winterfest is coming back to Town Hall this year. It's Saturday, January 30th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And so it'll be right here on the Town Hall grounds. So that's Saturday, January 30th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Any questions or comments? Should I? Okay. I do want to just point out to the town board there is a typo on the special events. It should say 11 a.m., not 11 p.m. I don't think we want to have Winterfest at 11 p.m. So we'll do that, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So with that change, can I have a motion?
Move.
And a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 10A, 2015-7, authorizing capital lease financing of 2 heavy dump trucks with snow plowing equipment and 1 split drum vibratory asphalt roller for the Department of Public Works.
Can I have a motion?
Move.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you again. This resolution just for the, authorizes the leasing. This is equipment that the town board authorized purchasing earlier this year. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And this is just for the financing to
Yes.
purchase it? Okay. Any questions from the board? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 10A, 2015-8, authorizing the renewal of an intermunicipal agreement with Monroe County for the supply of electricity and natural gas to town facilities.
Can I have a motion
So moved.
and a second?
Second.
I'm going to ask the comptroller just to tell the public what this resolution's about.
The town currently participates in a Monroe County Energy Aggregation Consortium for the supply of electricity and natural gas. By participating in the consortium with the county is able to get lower rates for all participants. We've participated in this with this group since '07, and we are requesting the board to authorize us to participate for another 5 years through 2020.
Thank you, Annie. I do want to point out one other thing that I had forgot to mention earlier today. So this is an intermunicipal agreement that allows us to essentially join with other municipalities for a cheaper rate, right, for electric from RG&E. Sort of, you know, with this, there's been a lot of talk about working together through intermunicipal agreements and sharing resources amongst municipalities. Earlier this year, the town of Arundecoit worked with Monroe County and our other municipalities, towns around the county to create the tax efficiency plan, which, if you recall, was a requirement by New York State as part of the tax cap, that not only do we have to keep our tax levy below the cap, which we did, but we also have to put together an efficiency plan that shows a certain level of savings by working with other municipalities and governments around the county. So I just learned today that our tax efficiency plan that we worked so hard on earlier this year was accepted by New York State and was granted. So that was a significant project that took up an awful lot of time and attention from the staff, but also, you know, had some positive benefits in forcing us to work together, talk to our colleagues, talk to other governments to see how we can do better with tax dollars and save money, but continue to be able to provide the services that our residents have come to expect. So that was good news that came today from New York State.
Oh, yeah, kudos. Very good.
So this is another example of
Done.
doing that. So well done to our folks in the comptroller's office and also our department heads who worked very hard putting that together. Are there any other questions about this one? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 10A, 2015-9, authorizing the appointment of a bingo inspector.
So moved.
And can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. This is, this resolution is due to the passing of our previous bingo inspector, who had been a long-time employee and friend of the town, Christine Pagoda. And so we had talked about that, but this this resolution, we need to replace Ms. Pagoda, and we putting forth the name of Dean Kay to serve in the role as a town bingo inspector. So he has big shoes to fill. Any other questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 10A, 2015-10, establishing the 2016 holiday schedule for all employees.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
In a second?
Second.
Thank you. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. There's no surprises on the list of holidays for 2016. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 10A, 2015-11, authorizing PMA Management Corporation to administer claims under the Town of Arundecoit Self-Insured Workmen's compensation program.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
In a second?
Second.
Going to ask Jason Vanette from the Human Resources Department.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I prepared an RFP to receive proposals for the third-party administration of the town's self-insured workers' compensation program. After a review by the RFP committee and an interview with PMA Management Corporation, this resolution, with your approval, will authorize the hiring of PMA to provide these services to the town.
Thank you, Jason. The RFP committee, I was a member of the RFP committee. I want to thank Jason for putting this together. It was a great proposal by PMA Corporation. I think there's a unanimous recommendation that we hire them. The members of the RFP committee were myself, John Perticone, Jason Vanette, Annie Seeley, Jeff McCann, not a member of the group, but sat in on the interviews with us. And we had a unanimous recommendation to the board to approve this contract. Are there any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 10A, 2015-12, authorizing the supervisor to enter into an agreement with University of Rochester for an employee assistance program for police officers.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
In a second.
Second.
Thanks. Would Mr. Vanette or Chief Tentilla like to speak to this one?
I can speak to this, Mr. Supervisor.
Okay.
This resolution authorizes the supervisor to enter into an agreement with the University of Rochester to provide an officer assistance program. This program offers traditional EAP services, but it also includes crisis and critical incident response services as well, and consultation to command staff, and training and educational services are included. The agreement is for a 2-year term, and it's not to exceed $4,999 for the length of the term.
Thank you, Jason. Did you have anything you wanted to add or no?
I just would like to say that we have utilized this service and organization and a number of critical incidents that our officers, pardon me, unfortunately had to respond to, and they were a great assistance to our personnel.
Good. Excellent. Any other questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 10A, 2015-13, authorizing the reimbursement of 80% of tuition cost for one course at Empire State College.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
In a second?
Second?
All right, thank you. This is a resolution allowing for tuition reimbursement, which is part of our employee compensation package. And the expense for this particular course is included in the 2016 budget proposal, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Any questions from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 10A, 2015-14, awarding towing contract.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
In a second?
Second.
Chief?
Currently, our towing contract is due to expire November 1st of 2015. In August of 2015, an RFP was submitted, and or I should say requests for proposals were requested. This is a 3-year contract with an opportunity for a 1-year extension. On September 11th, the proposals were, on September 23rd, the proposals were reviewed. We had one submission. That was from Jim Christo Towing and Impound, located at 1301 East Ridge Road. This individual has been a service provider for us and vendor for a number of years, is an exceptional record, is providing service not only to the police department, but to the members of the community. We're recommending that this once again be awarded to him with a 3-year contract and a 1-year extension provision.
Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. So I do want to, before we adjourn, there are a couple of announcements that I want to make. There's a number of activities coming up soon. So there's a special town board meeting will be on October 29th at 4 o'clock. That would be when the board would consider the preliminary budget. The budget stages, as you're aware, there's a tentative budget which is filed today. The town board will approve a preliminary budget on October 29th at 4 o'clock in the Broderick room here. The next town board, the town board will then have a public hearing for the budget. will be Thursday, November 5th. So remember, Thursday, November 5th will be the public hearing for the budget at 7:35, again, right here in the meeting room. The next town board workshop, regular workshop meeting is November 12th at 4 o'clock, and the next regular town board meeting is November 19th at 7 o'clock. There's a number of events happening in the community. On October 17th, from 7:45 to 12:45 is a hazardous waste collection at Town Hall. This one is by appointment only, so if you have hazardous waste that you would like to bring here to Town Hall, again, it's October 17th, and you need to call 336-6033. That's the Public Works Department, 336-6033. There's information on our website as well. This is becoming a very popular morning for that and very well used, so please make sure you call. Also on October 17th at 10 a.m. is the free ice hockey for Irondequoit residents at the Bill Gray's Ice Complex at MCC. Again, that's at 10 a.m. It's a free ice hockey for Irondequoit residents, and at 11 a.m. is free skate. So it's an open skate at the Bill Gray's Ice Complex. That's the one over by MCC. So that's on the 17th. 10 a.m. is hockey. 11 a.m. is free skate. October 22nd at 4 p.m. Unfortunately, will be our last farmers market of the season. The season's coming to a close from 4 p.m. to dusk. On October 22nd is the last farmers market. On November 11th at 10:45 will be our annual Veterans Day observance. That's here at Town Hall grounds around our new Veterans Memorial, which you've seen has come up at Town Hall in front of the new library in Town Hall here. So that's November 11th at 10:45 in the morning. Without any other business, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Moved.
In a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Have a great night, everyone.
We hope you enjoyed this presentation of the Irondequoit Town Board on ICAT 12, Irondequoit's government access channel. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of the Irondequoit Town Board on ICAT 12, Irondequoit's government access channel.